The Eclipse Theater presents Neil Simon's comedy, The Gingerbread Lady, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, all month long in November, benefiting a Light of Hope recovery centers. More info at themain.org. That is at themain.org, or keep listening, because joining me in studio to discuss their latest on-stage production, actor, writer, producer, director, Nancy Lantis, along with some cast members. We have Jen Treadwell, Shawnee Badger, and Joe Harris. Newcomer Joe. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Welcome to the afternoon show.
Thanks.
Nancy, of all the hats that you wear, which is your favorite? Do you like the directing? Do you like the acting, producing, the writing?
I guess I'd have to say acting, but then, I come upon a show I want to direct, and it's the directing, and then,
Right.
But when that is all over, it's like, I just want to act again. God, just get me acting.
The writing is the most, it's the most fulfilling. It's the worst one to do. Am I right?
Is the word.
Yeah,
Solitary
for sure.
Writing's most solitary.
You hate it when you start. When you're doing it, it's miserable. But when you get to the end, it's very fulfilling.
Yeah, well, and I think like any kind of art anyway, it's like it starts to carry you away if you let it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it starts to write itself kind of.
So this is the final week of production.
Yes.
It seems quick. You guys, I feel like you guys were just in here last
Right.
week.
We were.
This is something months in the making. Am I right?
Oh, yeah.
Is it a little disappointing that it's come and gone so fast?
It is. Yeah, we wish we had more time, but we're so grateful for the Maine to allow us the 2 weeks that they give us. It allows those of us who don't have a chance anywhere else, really, monetarily or time-wise or location-wise, to get something up.
Yeah. Would you like to continue with the production elsewhere? Or are you guys already on to the next project?
Sort of thinking about the next things. I don't know. I mean, Christmas is coming for
And the
crying out loud.
holiday.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, we're so glad to be up and running at the same time. It's like, okay, what's next in line?
Right.
The calendar's already full.
Because,
Yeah.
I mean, all of us. I mean,
Yeah.
Joe, too. I mean, it's like we all have families that, right now he's thinking about the meat he's got on the grill. He's got to come.
Yeah, he's got coals out there. He's
does.
ready to go back. So last time, Nancy, you were in last year. You were promoting Appaloosa, an original script, original production. This is an adaptation of a Neil Simon script. It's billed as a comedy. The description is a much heavier story. Tell me a little bit about this story, why you decided to go with this one.
Sure. Well, it's not so much an adaptation, but it's we changed some things. My character is an actress instead of a singer, which the movie Only When I Laugh with Marsha Mason, they changed it to an actress as well. So it's been done. It's not unheard of. It's about a woman going through recovery, and it's about the humor you have to do that. It's the strength that she finds in herself and her friends and her daughter, and all the way through, even as it gets to a darker point, there are laughs, and the audience is laughing, and they get it, and the humor, the Neil Simon humor, really does come out, because you gotta laugh sometimes, man.
Yeah, exactly.
And actually, the laughter, when we performed on, I think it was a Saturday show, right?
Yep.
We had so much laughter in places that we hadn't heard before. And I was like, oh, that was funny, wasn't it? You forget when you're running through rehearsal, like what's funny and what's not funny. And they were finding laughter in so many places. It was wonderful to hear.
Do you ever try to recreate that moment and improvise a little bit in that moment? Does that take you out of it?
No, but it's sorry, I'm like,
No?
I said no one more time. But we know there's funny moments, and some places we anticipate it, and other places we don't anticipate it at all, and we have to remember to hold that moment and not just roll right on along. So that's always an improvisation, because it's like something happens unexpected, then we have to kind of go with that and allow the laughter to happen and allow people to feel the things, and then we continue on with the intention.
So, Joe, what role do you play in this?
I play the ex. I play the ex Lou Tanner. And when I hear that she's home from her rehab stint, I make an appearance.
Is it emotionally taxing to play a character in this story?
For me, it is. I don't spend a lot of time on the stage, but it is my preparation, you could say, is a deep one and a hard one. The way the director has me coming to the door is broken. So it's more than just trying to hit an emotional place for me. It's trying to hit that emotional devastation early and then sit with it long enough that when I come to the door, it's not just this guy's emotional, it's a sense of being broken. So there's a little bit of a task in that.
So how do you start preparing for that role? Does it begin that day? do you go into, it's at the Main, so do you arrive to the Main early and kind of get yourself into the mood?
Luckily, I kind of like to draw on whatever is the most fresh at the time. It's never the same thing. And as coincidence would have it, a friend of mine reached out today that is having a hard time staying sober, and I didn't know it. He just got out of a hospital. So I'm going to take him, hopefully, to get some help that he needs tonight. And then if I can do the show as a tribute, I like to have a reason to act. That might be all I need to just fall right into it, especially being around him tonight.
It's such a common story. People struggling with addiction, every family, everyone knows someone that is struggling. You guys have partnered with Light of Hope Recovery. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Sure. Well, we're lucky enough that we found a nonprofit who can take the proceeds. And Tim Traorig and I spoke and went through his facility, and it's really a beautiful facility. It's intimate and it's warm and it's comfortable, and he was just excited to be able to, get the message out to people who may not hear it this way before, and he actually, in speaking with me about what sobriety means to them and to what they go through there at the center, I was able to take that for my character and use it as some of the things that I go through, and it was really symbiotic in that sense too, not just financially,
Right.
It was really helpful.
Have you guys performed for the patients from the center yet?
We actually, last Saturday, we had some of their youth come out and see it last Saturday, and they really enjoyed it. And
Awesome.
Actually, I know the mother of one of them who talked about it afterwards and was really thankful and said she really liked it.
Awesome. So you guys do have conversation with them after, kind of just...
We didn't. They
No?
kind of skedaddled out of there. They had to go. But I know, like I said, I know the mother, and I asked how her daughter enjoyed it, and she said that she really loved it, and she actually sat down and talked with them afterwards about it, and so that felt good.
Shawnee, you play the daughter in the play.
Yes.
You've committed. Have you dyed your hair for the production? You look exactly... you could pass as Nancy's daughter, like a real-life daughter.
Yeah.
It was easy casting, right, Nancy?
Yeah. My hair was red before, but I kind of lightened it a little bit so that way I could look like my mama.
So when do you guys start preparing for this? Is it easy for you guys to remember your lines? How long of a production is it?
How long is the show itself?
Yeah.
It's like 2 hours.
Okay. How many pages on a script is that?
100? 120, I think.
I don't know.
So when you get the script, do you get it just for your roles or just for your
No,
lines,
we
or do you get the
whole
entire
script.
thing?
We get
Yeah,
the whole
it's the
script.
whole
thing,
Right.
yeah.
Cool.
And it's a process. I mean,
Sure.
I think that it's changed as some of us have gotten older. It takes a little bit longer to retain those lines. Whereas I speak for myself. I think years ago, I could look at a page and basically have it memorized, kind of
Really?
on sight. In some ways, now not so much.
Right.
But I think Shawnee might have gotten hers quicker than some of us because she's a little on the younger side.
Is
But,
it a muscle though?
It
is.
is. Oh
It's a
yeah.
muscle.
I mean, you don't use it, you lose it for sure. So it's a lot. It's
Yeah.
going through the scenes with the books in our hands, and then trying to get the books out of our hands, or having the books in our hands and not trying to look down quite so much. It's this whole process.
And surprisingly, a lot of times the
learning.
blocking, when you block like, okay, on this line I'm going to move from here to here, or this is my intention for doing that, that helps me.
It does. It locks it in.
I mean,
a
Do you
little
have to
bit.
sit down in a chair and trying to run the lines with somebody, and you're like, I can't remember a thing.
Remember,
What did I do
yeah.
now?
So you're saying you kind of have to think of it just as a natural conversation, and this is kind of just the natural evolution of the conversation.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. The Eclipse Theater presents Neil Simon's comedy, The Gingerbread Lady, coming up Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Is this the final week of
It's
production?
the final weekend.
It's the final chance to go see it. Benefiting a Light of Hope Recovery Centers. It is at themain.org. At the Main, right here in Old
Yep.
Town Newhall, on Main Street. Hence the name, The Main. For tickets and more info, go to atthemain.org. That is atthemain.org. Guys, thanks so much for coming in.
You're
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Appreciate it. Time for a quick break. Stay tuned. More holiday music, because we can't get enough of holiday music, despite Thanksgiving not being this
No,
week.
where's
It's
the
going to be next week.
Thanksgiving songs?
I know. We need more of those. How about those? Thanks, guys, so much for coming in.
Thank
Atthemain.org for
you.
more info.